Hey guys, welcome to the Discovering Disney podcast.
I'm Morgan, and I love Disney.
I'm Leo, and I didn't grow up with Disney.
We're going through all the Disney movies to educate Leo on the magical world of Disney.
I'll be talking about my observations I had while watching the movies.
And I'll hit him with facts and information.
Want to start us off, babe?
Sure, babe. In 1940, Disney's second feature-length animated film, Pinocchio, was released. It was based on an Italian children's book called The Adventures of Pinocchio. Once again, the source was darker than the Disney adaptation. Jiminy Cricket, who was only known as the Talking Cricket, was killed by Pinocchio with a mallet, and halfway through the book, Pinocchio was stabbed and hanged. The movie won the first 2 Oscars ever awarded to an animated feature, Best Original Score and Best Original Song for When You Wish Upon a Star. With a runtime of 88 minutes, it's 5 minutes longer than last week's show. It cost $2.6 million to make, which is $45 million in today's money. It was estimated to only have to cost $500,000, but while Disney was a perfectionist, it didn't like it halfway through, so he stopped production and made them all go back and rework elements. The film was worked on by such Disney legends as director Ken Anderson, background artist Claude Coates, and supervising animator Ward Kimball. So what did you think?
I personally thought that movie was fucking wild, dude. Like, just from like the beginning. So now I'm gonna go over my notes and I'm gonna just kind of say what I thought, because yeah, I have 5 pages of notes here. So,
and I'll interject if I have a fun fact to go with your notes.
All right, it sounds good. So first off, it even starts off in the credits at the very beginning of the movie. There's a guy that made this movie called Thor Putnam.
You see, I thought you were going to be talking about the director whose name was T-He.
No.
T-He?
No. Thor made this movie. Therefore, it's the best Disney movie ever. Like, that's it. Hands down, that's it. All right? So, at the very beginning, when Jiminy Cricket was, like, opening the book, right? I love the subtle reference in the background of Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland.
Those 2 movies were already in production when this movie came out, so they just had little subtle nods to it, yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of teased it then.
Mm-hmm.
Like an Easter egg sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
1940 Easter egg.
Yeah. So Cricket, man, Jiminy Cricket was breaking the fourth wall a lot. He just kind of looked at the audience and was just like, "Yeah, I'm here," you know? Like, I guess this is all just a story of Pinocchio told by Cricket, correct?
Yeah, he's the narrator. Yeah.
So this movie just kind of just his point of view of what happened.
His recollection, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
okay,
much.
so that explains a lot, actually. Now that I kind of just figured that out, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of explains a lot, and how fucking batshit crazy this movie is. Like, Jesus. At first, before Pinocchio, when he didn't have eyebrows or a mouth, that shit was spooky. Like, he was just crazy, dude. And the figure that Cricket leans on at the beginning of the movie, where he's kind of like just watching Gelato do his thing. Yeah. It's not Geppetto. It's Gelato.
The Nazi?
Yes, it's Gelato. So that figure that Cricket leans on, I noticed in these early Disney movies, a lot of these characters have cake, dude. Like, Grumpy had cake.
Now Jiminy Cricket
Dopey had cake. The figure had cake. And so did Stromboli. But we'll get to him when we get to him. We'll get to that fucking Italian dish when we get to him. Isn't that an Italian dish? Right? Stromboli?
Yes.
Is that like a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like... I don't want to say anything. Because it's kind of like pizza, I think.
A Stromboli?
Isn't it?
Isn't that a calzone?
Hold on. This is what Google's for.
Isn't... I don't know.
It's a turnover filled with cheeses and cold cuts or vegetables. It uses bread dough or pizza dough.
So it's like a calzone.
It's like a pizza folded in half.
So a calzone.
Okay, we're both right.
Do Do you not know what a calzone is?
I do.
Okay. All right.
There is one fun fact I found while researching that I knew you were going to like.
Okay.
The two main voice actors were named Dickie Jones and Christopher Rubb.
Dick Rub. My favorite combo, Dick Rub. Oh, that's great. I found it really funny how at the beginning nobody likes Pinocchio's name. Figaro didn't fucking like it, or whatever the fish's name was. Forgot. Cleo. Yeah, I remember because I heard Cleo and I was like, oh, does he? But without the C. And wow, I just kept making notes at the beginning of this fucking movie, and like, Figaro's so fucking cute, dude. Like, I noted it down towards the end of the movie, but he really looks like Tom from Tom and Jerry. He looks like a baby version of Tom, but
yeah.
It's just like he's so fucking cute in literally anything he does. Like, he can be walking, and his little jaunt is amazing.
So, you're not alone in thinking that Figaro is the cutest thing ever. He was Walt Disney's favorite character. And he was, like, Walt Disney loved him so much that Figaro ended up kind of crossing, I guess, worlds and became Minnie Mouse's pet. So
shit.
Figaro in Disney canon is Minnie Mouse's pet now. She used to have a dog, but Figaro was so cute that they replaced him.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dang, dude. Fuck yeah. Have you, like, Jesus fucking Christ, that cat's just amazing. I also had a question because Gelato, he gets so happy that that he made Pinocchio that he goes up to Cleo and he pets Cleo. So my only question is, how do you pet the belly of a fish? Because he totally fucking does that, and I was so shook. I was like, how the fuck, dude?
Babe, I have a groundbreaking revelation for you.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon.
That doesn't answer my question. Moving on. I found it so fucking funny how before Gelato goes to bed, he just fucking tokes one up, dude. Like, he just goes up to his pipe and is like, you know, like, this is the best fucking thing. Look, I even found a GIF, and he's just toking one up right before he goes to bed, dude.
I think my favorite thing about that whole bedtime sequence is how Figaro has his own little bed.
Yes.
And then Geppetto's like, hey, can you open the window? And Figaro's just like, doesn't go back to his bed.
Fuck.
And he ends up sleeping in bed with Geppetto, and I'm just like, that would be me.
That's the cutest fucking thing ever, dude. Like, I'm telling you, Figaro's so fucking cute, and I found it so funny that Figaro did not want to fucking do anything after he went to bed. So much so that he looked so fucking tired and so fucking dumb.
He's so cute. I love him.
This whole fucking time, dude. And
does that mean we can get a cat now?
I'm allergic.
Does that mean we can get a cat now?
I'm allergic. Anyways. Gelato snores like a fucking elephant. I don't know if you noticed that.
Gelato or you?
Fuck off. Anyways. What's it called? Jiminy Cricket got really mad at all the noises that was going on when he was trying to sleep. He just fucking snapped, dude. He fucking snapped and he yelled. And then he just looked at the camera and was like, alright, well, that's that. And just, you know, fucking Cricket is so bipolar. And then, you know, I texted you about this when I was watching the movie. So here it comes, the fucking fairy.
Okay.
The first, let me just get this out here. She's kind of hot.
Oh my god, yeah.
She's kind of fucking hot, dude. Like, I tap.
The actress who played her was the model for the original Columbia Pictures logo. You know, the chick with the torch?
Yes.
Yeah. Hot.
Hot.
So basically, The Blue Fairy, and also this answers a question from last episode about why the prince was so hard to animate.
Okay.
The Blue Fairy and the Prince from Snow White were both animated using rotoscoping.
Okay, that's super familiar, but I can't.
It's tracing live action footage, basically.
Oh.
So they had the references and then traced them for the animation.
Okay, so is that why she was so differently animated from the rest of everybody?
Yes, and she wasn't the only thing rotoscoped in the movie. Like, you know, the cage that Pinocchio was swinging in?
Yes.
That was rotoscoped. I found a source that said Jiminy Cricket was rotoscoping too, but I didn't. I only found one source that said that.
Yeah,
so.
I don't believe that.
No. But yeah, does that answer your question now?
That does answer my question. That is fucking crazy, dude. I found it funny how he got referred to as Lord Highkeeper, as Pinocchio's consciousness. That's not like any reference, but that's just I just thought that was neat. I was like, dude, he's the fucking Lord Highkeeper now. He kind of has a Mickey laugh when he laughed. That little like yeah. I was like, oh.
There were a lot of times where I was like, Jiminy Cricket sounds like Mickey. It's not the same voice actor. It was a famous vaudeville actor who played Jiminy Cricket. But
I mean, it sounded enough like Mickey for me to be like, oh, that may be a thing, but obviously it's not. Pinocchio, man, dude, throughout this whole movie, Pinocchio is so pure. Like, he's not corrupted yet. And I just thought that was like the cutest fucking thing ever.
That is, Pinocchio's personality is actually one of the things they had difficulties doing when they were making the movie. Because in the book, he was a brat. It was more of a cautionary tale. Like, I mean, this movie is a cautionary tale, but it was even more. And Pinocchio was just an annoying little turd in the book. And they were going to keep it that way, but Walt wanted something likable. So they had different ways that they could change his character, and eventually they settled on that innocent, naive little kid.
Yeah, that whole thing stuck out to me, even towards like the whole way, beginning, middle, and end. That was the only thing I kept thinking about that stayed the same, which was Pinocchio being super pure and just super naive. He's not corrupted yet.
I can think of another thing that stayed the same.
The girl's cuteness?
Jiminy Cricket, it was always like, oh, he doesn't need me anymore, and kept walking away, and it's just like, didn't you learn your lesson the first time?
Yeah, but I mean, in the same hand, Pinocchio being so naive and stuff like that is kind of the reason why he did all that,
Yeah.
So those two kind of go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. There was one line that Jiminy Cricket said that just stood out to me. That said, "Pucker up and blow."
Yeah, that one stuck out to me too.
Yeah, that one I was like, ooh. And the music is just so great. And the Give a Little Whistle song.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that the name of the song?
I think so.
I don't know.
Well, it won an Oscar for Best Original Score, so.
Oh, well, there it is. Dude, Gelato honestly is like the realest OG I can think of. He keep that motherfucking thing on him. Below his pillow. He slept on that shit. Literally. Like, he was shook as fuck when he heard a noise, and he immediately pulled out the gat and was like, who the fuck is in my house? Dude, it was...
Hit you with the Beretta, you better stay down.
Oh my god, dude. It's fucking crazy. This is all just the beginning, too. We have so much more, dude. Let's see. I don't know if you've noticed, 27 minutes into the movie, because I looked at it. It was the scene where the camera panned out and it showed all the kids,
Mm-hmm.
It showed all the kids, playing in the schoolyard,
Yeah.
The kid on the bottom left corner of the screen, I swear to God, gets fucking bullied. like you can see him pushed around and like his head just gets dunked into the fucking water and the camera just pans out, dude.
It's like, oops, nothing to see here.
That kid's fucking dead.
That whole scene where it's panning over.
That's not the only dead kid
so
in this movie.
Beautiful. That scene where it's like panning over his city, his town, it's so beautiful. Every time I see that, I'm just like, gorgeous.
So I keep looking at my notes and I keep noticing Figaro's name a lot, followed by is the cutest shit ever. Also, furries? You can't tell me those two dudes weren't furries. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Honest John and Gideon.
Is that what his name was? Gideon?
Mm-hmm. Gideon, yeah.
Why does it sound so familiar?
It's from the Bible.
The whomst? Anyways. Yeah, isn't stromboli a dish? That's what I put.
So, going back a second.
Yeah.
You know what blows my mind?
What?
Geppetto wakes up. He's like, oh, I've got a son. Let's send him to school. Like, he doesn't even take a day to sit with him and get to know his miraculous puppet son.
Dude, he's taking advantage of the situation. What can you blame the guy? Like, you know? Anyways. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm guessing Stromboli. I'm guessing Stromboli is a racist stereotype of some kind.
Yeah, that struck me, but I couldn't figure out what.
At first I thought Italian.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on, he has one of those swords, the curved swords, you know, that are popular with like Armenians. So I don't know what he's a racist stereotype of, but that's definitely a thing.
I was thinking Russian, maybe?
No, I don't know, but that's Stromboli is definitely.
Like, I couldn't even place his accent.
Yeah, I couldn't either. But I just got like a strong Italian at first, and then like afterwards, just a bad guy. Just a bad guy. Duh.
Yeah.
So
Gideon, the silent cat.
Yes.
Much like Dopey, he was supposed to have a voice and be the comic relief, but they decided it would be better if he was mute.
Okay.
However, all of his lines were recorded. The voice actor who recorded his lines was legendary voice actor Mel Blanc.
Ooh.
Yes, you know him?
Duh.
Yeah, exactly. But all of his lines got cut except for 3 hiccups in the film. And then he also did the little, like, noise that Figaro made. And that's it.
Like the meows?
He didn't meow. There was a part when they were in the... I think he yawned.
Oh.
Or sneezed. He sneezed, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. Dang, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Let's see here. I get this is animation, but those puppets are very well performed in the the Got No Strings sequence.
Well, that's probably like the only form of entertainment they have at that time, so.
Just fucking puppets, dude.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, so again, a Figaro note saying Figaro is my life, TBH. I'm still confused on what Stromboli is, but Stromboli definitely has cake too. We have come to the part of the cake of Stromboli, and don't get me wrong, I have reference here. I have reference of go ahead and describe this.
He is...
Go ahead and describe it for the...
He is shaking his ass side to side while making come hither eyes at the camera.
Yeah, and this is when
he was counting his money.
Yeah, when he was counting his money and he was super happy before he locked up Pinocchio, right? Before my boy got locked up, right?
I think maybe after.
I want to say it was after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, Stromboli got that Cricket really coming in clutch, and he's really satirical. throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he's very like the comedic relief,
Yeah.
pretty much. I really felt bad for Gelato, man. Like,
I know.
that poor sap, dude.
Like, where's my kid though?
Where he at though? And he's really trying to figure it out, but he can't, and it makes me sad.
I think he must think he's going crazy because he wakes up one morning and his puppet is talking to him, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That is fucking pretty wild. And I had a question. 2 questions. And I get it's an animation, but I still want you to answer them.
Okay.
How can wood cry? And why am I so sad over a puppet?
Yes.
Cool. Anyways,
I was thinking about how can wood cry and like blow his nose and stuff, and all I can think of is sap. That's all I can think of to answer that question.
Sap. That's a lot of sap coming from his eyes. I happen to be clear and watery, but the fairy shows up. She comes back.
She comes in clutch.
He comes in clutch, and she's still hot.
Yeah.
She's still, bangable. And there his nose goes. There his nose goes. It just comes out and makes a fucking bird's nest. And here come the Twitters again. The 2 Twitters.
It's the same Twitters from Snow White.
It's the same Twitters. Yeah, it's the same Twitters.
So the trait that everyone associates with Pinocchio is his nose growing, right?
Yeah, and it only shows up once.
It only shows up once. I was just about to ask you. I was about to be like, how many times does it happen?
Yeah,
just once.
It only shows up fucking once. Like,
yeah.
The fuck? So as quickly as the Twitters came, and there they went. They fucking yeeted out of the building. I found it really funny how when the fairies were counting their money, they were like, "We got plenty of gold." Then they juggle their little coin bag around. There's like 2 pennies in there. I got really concerned when that really sus guy said Pleasure Island. I said, "Ooh, this is not gonna be okay." And those damn furries are at it again. And, and took the deal.
Did you notice what card he gave Pinocchio as his ticket to Pleasure Island?
Isn't that the Ace of Spades?
The Ace of Spades, which is the death card.
It's also a good Motorhead song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I love that song. When the fairies were diagnosing Pinocchio, Pinocchio looked dead as fuck. You can agree with that. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, huh? Like he looked like he's been sick for like 3 weeks.
I mean, he got kidnapped and saved all in the same night. Can I point out how this all happens in one night again?
Does it? Well, in like 2 days, right?
No, at night he gets saved from Geppetto. He's walking back home. He doesn't make it home, and the furries pick him up and send him to Pleasure Island. Like, he gets kidnapped, and then he gets kidnapped to Pleasure Island in the same night. I don't know how long he was at Pleasure Island, but...
Assuming the same night.
Assuming, yeah.
But, I mean, it happens over the course of 2 days. Because he goes, he never gets home, gets sent to Pleasure Island, he comes back home, and then he goes to find Monstro.
Yeah.
And by the time they get out of Monstro, it's daylight.
I'm wondering how long he was in Pleasure Island, because if Geppetto and Figaro and Cleo are starving, then it's been a while.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
we'll fry that fish when we get to that part of the movie.
Yeah, I suppose. But I'm just saying, I think it'll maybe, Anyways, yeah, we'll get there when we get there. Yeah. Let's see. I kind of lost my place in the note. I love Pinocchio and I want to protect him. He's my son now. I am gelato.
How old do you think Pinocchio is?
Fucking 3 hours, dude. Like,
He's just 7 hours old and truly beautiful to behold.
yes. Like,
But, like, how old do you think the voice actor for him was?
I don't know. That's a tricky question because I want to say a kid, but look who voices Timmy Turner. So, I don't know.
Dickie Jones was 12 years old when he recorded his lines for Pinocchio.
12. I would have guessed younger.
I would have guessed like 6.
I would have guessed like 6 or 5. Hikey. That's crazy. 12.
Yeah.
That kid has not hit puberty yet. I put, God, these kids are gonna fucking die because they're all just having too much of a good time going to Pleasure Island, dude. And literally, dude, I'm fucking scared.
I want to go to Pleasure Island.
No, you fucking don't. Wanna, yeah.
If they get rid of the donkey part, I'm totally down. Getting to trash a house.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, smoking kills, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking kills. Don't do drugs.
In my 2010 70th anniversary platinum, diamond, whatever edition, it started out with an anti-smoking PSA that was kind of comical.
BecomeAnX.org.
BecomeAnX.org.
I joked around and I said, you send that to your boo when things aren't working out. Just BecomeAnX.org.
End of story.
That's it. You just don't respond. You just block their number. That's it.
Ghosting.
BlockingX.org. And then why does fucking Pinocchio really inhale all that smoke? Like, he took like the biggest drag and just...
Because Lampwick said bet. And Pinocchio said bet. And Lampwick said bet. And so he did it. And then immediately regretted it.
Dude, smoking even kills wood. I guess.
And how did he not catch on fire when he was smoking?
Because it's an animation. Fucking... What, dude?
Fight me.
Don't wiggle your goddamn toes at me.
Fight me.
Dude, grasshopper less than cricket because when what's his name called cricket a grasshopper?
Lampwick.
Who?
Lampwick.
Yeah, that one. When that lamp called cricket a grasshopper, cricket got real fucking mad.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm about ready to beat some ass."
So, on the topic of Jiminy Cricket.
Yes.
His original character design was based off an actual cricket. Like, antenna, wings, beady, whatever.
Oh.
And Walt Disney said it was gross. Quote, unquote.
Mood.
So, Ward Kimball was forced to entirely redesign Jiminy Cricket, and he grew to hate Jiminy Cricket. He was quoted as saying, quote, "He was a cricket because we called him a cricket." And yet, Jiminy Cricket is pretty much only second to Mickey Mouse as the mascot of the Disney Corporation.
Yeah, like, even if you don't know Disney,
you know Jiminy
such
Cricket.
as myself,
yeah,
I knew the phrase, just the name, Jiminy Cricket. Yeah,
know, when you see him, you go, "Oh yeah, that's Jiminy Cricket." He doesn't look like a cricket. He's only a cricket because we call him a cricket. But...
I mean, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, if you'd have shown me a picture before this movie, I would have known who the fuck that was. But I did know the phrase Jiminy Cricket. That's just been everywhere. So now we get to the actual spooky part of this movie, which is the donkey scene.
We had 2 movies in a row with a terrifying transformation scene. Are you noticing a theme yet? Because Snow White had the queen turning into like the old hag.
Yeah.
And now we have boys turning into donkeys and screaming for their moms.
I literally put, this is so fucked up and sad, and this is so fucked up, like, twice. And I can definitely see this shit traumatizing kids.
Yeah.
I can definitely see this. Like, seeing it as a kid, I would definitely fucking be like, I do not want to turn into a fucking donkey. Like, this shit's spooky.
Maybe it scared kids into being good.
Yeah.
So, there's something I totally thought you were going to make a note on, but you didn't.
What?
The fact that jackass is used twice in the movie.
Yes, I did. I did make a note on that, but I skipped over it right now. Look, you can see the very bottom. The very bottom. I put jackass in all capitals and 2 exclamation points.
So I have a weird story with the word jackass.
Okay. When he said jackass, I immediately played the jackass theme song in my head.
Mine's still in relation to Pinocchio, but
okay.
So it was like 11:30 at night. It was really late. My mom and I are riding the Pinocchio ride at Disneyland. And we're riding through the room with the really sus guy and the room where they're all turning into donkeys. And we hear the guy say, "Now you've gone and made a jackass out of yourself." And my mom and I both just froze because it's a Disney park ride. You'd never expect that to hear it. And we've never heard it again. We've never found record of it anywhere. So.
What?
Yeah, we still bring it up to each other every so often. He said, "You've gone and made a jackass out of yourself." We heard it.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's from the movie.
Yeah. But
What?
we've never heard it again, and we've never found any record of it anywhere.
That's fucking spooky.
Yeah.
Dude.
Now, every time we ride the ride, we're like, listen, listen, listen. And then when he doesn't say it, we're like...
Maybe they just got a lot of complaints about it, and they just kind of...
Don't know, because
Took it out.
we'd ridden it so many times before and never heard it. It was just so late at night, too.
Have you gone late at night and ridden the ride again?
I think I have since then. But it was just a one-time kind of thing that we still bring up because it was really weird. Like, not the kind of thing you'd expect to hear in Disneyland.
Yeah. I mean... That's fucking crazy.
I know, right?
I can't even think of anything that'll justify it. That's just weird.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude. Fucking... Anyway, it was really funny when, after they escaped, they went up the little, like, mountain thing, you know. I immediately thought of Snow White.
Yeah.
You know, climbing up the mountain again. Goddamn mountains in this goddamn movie. Or series so far. When Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket jumped off the ledge and they plopped into the water.
Mm-hmm.
Funniest thing ever. Because it's like that one vine with the little person jumping into the water and it was like a little...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it was like Pinocchio made a big old splash and Jiminy Cricket was just like... I can't even do it. I can't even do it.
We have now become an ASMR channel.
I'm trying to...
We're gonna do some popping.
There's one. Gratata. Like that Pokemon? The part where I put this shit went left quick, LOL, is followed by swallowed by a fucking whale. A fucking whale.
Yes.
What?
So the reason there are basically, I guess, 3 different plots that this movie touches on is because it was based off a serial. Like, it was published in each magazine. Like, each story was published in the magazine, and then it was all compiled into a book.
When you said cereal, I thought of, like, Fruit Loops.
You would.
Well? So, is this movie just kind of like a culmination of 3 plot points?
Kind of, yeah. They were trying to figure out how to take such a jumbled story and turn it into a cohesive movie. So
the first plot point would be what?
The first one was... I'm separating it into 3 because it's basically... Stromboli is the first one, the second one is Pleasure Island, and then the third one's the whale. Because those 3 are totally not related to each other in any way.
They aren't, but it ends up happening anyway, one after the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. That's just kind of weird, you know? Now, in hindsight, that's kind of weird. When Pinocchio was like, I need to go down there and save Geppetto, and Jiminy Cricket was like, all right, let's go. Pinocchio really just tied a fucking rock to himself and went, "All right, I love you. Nice seeing you." And Jiminy Cricket was just like, "What the fuck? I'm going with you, dude. Like, chill the fuck out."
I love that he just tied his tail into a knot. Like, wouldn't that hurt?
Nah.
Nah.
He was good.
Can we talk about how amazing the water looks?
I don't recall.
It's just beautiful. All the water effects had me like, wow, that's a spicy meatball.
That's a spicy stromboli.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The water effects were so good that they were used as reference for a movie that came out 49 years later.
Which was?
The Little Mermaid.
Oh.
Fun fact.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna bring this up in The Little Mermaid when we watch it.
Probably.
And I'm not gonna remember, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that's interesting." And then it's gonna hit me like 5 minutes later, and I'm like, "Oh
wait.
shit, dude!"
You're gonna be like, "That sounds familiar."
And that's not how bubbles work. Remember when Jiminy Cricket got swallowed by the clam?
Yeah.
And then he got like fucking plopped
up
in bubbles, and he popped a hole in the bubble. Like, that's not how bubbles work, bud. And then at the same time, fucking poor Gelato, dude.
Yeah.
And like he was like ready to die, and I was like, Gelato, don't talk like that. Like that makes me sad.
So I have a couple things to touch on in this part. First of all, one of the original plot storylines had Geppetto and Figaro eating Cleo. Or just at least deciding if they wanted to eat Cleo, considering it.
Dude, this is crazy. Like, this whole fucking movie is just batshit.
And how do you think Cleo feels about eating fish? Like, all they've got in there is fish. And Cleo is a fish.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
And then finally, so most of the time when I find fun facts, I like to kind of paraphrase them, put them into my own words, and put them in a Word document.
Yeah.
This one, I had to pull a direct quote from IMDb because it was just too wild.
Oh, more wild shit from this fucking movie, dude.
According to sequence director Jack Kinney, Christian Rubb, the voice of Geppetto, was a Nazi sympathizer who drove the animation crew crazy with his ramblings about the glories of Adolf Hitler.
I was wondering why you called him a Nazi earlier.
They eventually got even with him when they did the live-action shooting for the scene with Geppetto fishing from inside Monstro. They put him on a makeshift stage where he pretended to fish while the stage was jostled by some grips, who rocked the boat to give the desired effect and effectively gave him a ride he never forgot.
Oh.
Basically, they shook the shit out of him.
Yeah, dude.
Because they were so sick of him talking about how great Hitler was.
What the fuck, dude? This movie is off the fucking rails, dude. Lipstick and my fucking...
Valentino white bag.
Dude, this is absolutely fucking batshit crazy. I love this movie. I'm loving it even more, dude.
Oh, I had another note I wrote down. When they go to see then they come home and they see it's empty, a dove Deus Ex Machina comes from the sky. Because the dove, they would not have known Geppetto was in the whale if that dove had not shown up. They'd have just been like, oh, where did everyone go?
The dove. I didn't even notice it. I was probably writing down notes. Whoa.
He brought a note that basically said, you remember because Jiminy Cricket was standing on the note, and it's like, oh yeah, your dad is in the belly of a whale. Of a whale? Yeah.
So a dove brought that?
Yeah. Just descended from the heavens in a blue glow.
I didn't even fucking catch that.
Yeah.
I was probably too busy writing down notes.
Yeah. Just out of nowhere, a dove. And I was like, oh, okay. That's where we're going.
Fuck, dude?
But one more note.
Okay.
When Geppetto is fishing and he sneezed, I was only half paying attention and I almost said bless you.
It's okay. It's polite.
Yes.
Because Mel Blanc also sneezed
Yes.
as the cat. Figaro. So that's nice. It made me so happy when they reunited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I felt the warmth, the Disney magic.
You mean when he hugged the fish and then Pinocchio was like, Dad, I'm over here.
Yes, it was specifically the fish. It was the greatest part of the movie. Monstro, confused as fuck on why smoke is coming out of him.
So Monstro in the book was a shark.
10 times better.
And his roars were provided by Thurl Ravenscroft. That's a name you're going to see a little bit more coming up. He voiced Tony the Tiger until 2004. And he was also the voice behind You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Ooh.
Yes, and he pretty much exclusively worked with the Disney company, so.
That's neat. That's
Yes.
interesting. So yeah, Monstro was confused as fuck. And it's confirmed from this movie. It's a fact now. I don't make this up. You can go ahead and watch it yourself. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Whale sneezes sound like foghorns. I can't make this up. It's just a fact.
Thank you.
It's just what it is.
Thank you for blessing me with that information.
Bless you. You're welcome. Yeah, Monstro can honestly just fuck off. Like, throughout this whole sequence of him, you know, sneezing and shit like that, and then him seeing, Gelato, Pinocchio, and fucking the whole gang just on a boat. He gets all mad, and he was like, I'm coming for you, motherfuckers.
He's a whale. He's just trying to live his whale life, you know?
He can fuck off. Like, my boy Pinocchio's on there. So, and Gelato.
Pinocchio. Yeah, dude, Monster is really fucking after them, dude. Mm-hmm.
And man, it made me fucking sad when I thought Gelato was gonna die. And he was just like, save yourself. And I'm like, Pinocchio is even like, nah, motherfucker, you're coming with me. And even me, I'm like, nah, motherfucker, you're going with them. Like, I was real sad, dude.
What about that scene when Pinocchio is lying face down in the water?
That also made me very sad. Like, I'll let you take a look at my notes in a second. But, yeah, Monster was really after them, and I found it funny how he kind of like just smashed his face to the side of a fucking mountain and like just like that's it. Monster's dead. Severe brain damage, and that's it. I put, oh thank God he's alive, referring to Gelato.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him being like, and I with Pinocchio laying face down in the water, I put Pinocchio no. Fuck, I'm so sad in all capitals. And, you know, with Pinocchio fucking lying in the bed, with Gelato saying the keyword, brave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pee-wee's Playhouse. That's the word of the day. Yeah. Sort of thing. I put, Fairy, yes, he's a real boy. In all capital letters. And
That's one thing you're going to notice about these movies. Is that they can be real tearjerkers. Like, we've got Bambi coming up in a few.
Don't remind me.
And then later on, there's two movies that I cried at in the theater. Up and Princess and the Frog. So...
Don't forget Old Yeller.
Oh god, we have to watch Old Yeller too.
Yes. I hate when dogs die.
Same!
It's the fucking worst. Like...
I mean, we know it's coming at least.
But still...
I know!
I'm not looking forward to watching that fucking movie.
Our roommates say we're stupid for including that, but we're trying to do all of them. All of the Disney movies.
Yes, we're doing all the Disney movies, including like the live action ones and including like the documentary ones. Like
pretty much I have a list on IMDb of all the movies in order, and we're going off that. And there's about almost 500 on it.
Yes. So we are not going
anywhere. You're stuck with us.
Anyways.
Hot.
Thanks. And even fucking Pinocchio as a boy, he's so cute.
I know.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I found him a little creepy.
He is.
The nose, because I'd gotten so used to seeing Pinocchio with the big nose that seeing him with like a little human nose was jarring.
I mean, just still seeing him as a human is still a little jarring. I'm just like, ee.
Yeah.
No thanks. I take Wood Boy.
Yeah.
Over Real Boy.
So, Pinocchio's character design.
Yes.
They had a hard time balancing puppet, but not creepy.
I can imagine.
How long do you think it took them to settle on that final design?
Too long.
18 months.
Too fucking long.
So eventually they settled on just having him be an actual boy, except for the nose and the joints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I probably would have never thought of that. And I would just give it up. Yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of the movie. And the last part of the movie that made me happy was that Cricket got his badge. Jiminy Cricket finally got his official little badge.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of him.
I know, that part was so happy.
Wow. You going places.
I still have some facts on my list, so I'm going to cover those before I get to my final thoughts for you.
Throw them at me.
So it actually kind of flopped at the box office when it opened. It only made about $2 million.
So they didn't even break even.
No. And it wasn't until the re-release that it actually started to make money and gain traction.
When was the re-release?
1945.
Well, like 5 years after.
5 years later, yeah, basically. Let's see. So the cuckoo clocks in Geppetto's house.
Yes.
They had models of the cuckoo clocks in the studio for reference. And they created them to show Walt Disney that it was possible to do.
Oh. So, like, even that Spanking Boy one?
I'm not sure which ones they had and which ones they didn't, but yeah, the Spanking Boy and the Wino one, the drunk guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little sus.
Yeah. Well, they also created a Pinocchio puppet for reference. An actual puppet.
Yeah.
It was lost for 50 years until it was discovered in a cabinet in a Disney basement by the phone company. They moved some wires around, found it in a cabinet. This piece of Disney history in a cabinet. But I actually have a picture of the puppet right here.
Oh, fuck. I was about to ask you, do you have a picture?
I hate this picture.
Am I about to be real fucking spooked right now?
I hate this picture.
Oh, fuck, dude. I'm scared. What the fuck?
It's so spooky for some reason.
Bro, he naked.
It's
That's not super spooky, but that's
it's
still
just
fucking...
it's uncanny valley. And it's not uncanny valley. It's just kind of disturbing. Like,
yeah,
ugh.
no thanks, dude.
I found that picture and I was like, oop. And then one last thing is that in the 1990s, they redid some of the Jiminy Cricket educational shorts. And Real Boy Pinocchio was played by Elijah Wood.
Bah.
Yeah.
Good old, you know. Wow, I don't want to get this wrong, but good old Frodo himself,
Yes.
right? Yes.
All right.
I can't believe I spaced on that. I'm so ashamed.
Time for final thoughts.
Final thought.
First question. Favorite character?
Fuck. I would say the fairy, but that's not fair just because she's hot. Figaro.
Figaro, probably, yeah. Because you
Figaro.
mentioned him so many times in your notes.
He's so fucking cute.
Least favorite character?
That fucking, the kid. The kid who gets turned into a donkey.
Lampwick?
Yeah.
I like Lampwick.
I don't like
I
him.
think you would have gone with, like, the sus guy. That's who I would have gone with.
Well, him too, but that dude was just a dick. He made Pinocchio took a big hit, and he knew he couldn't
He
handle
said bet.
it. God damn it, dude! that makes it even worse.
All right, favorite scene?
If the beginning, the song, the whistle.
The give a little whistle?
Give a little whistle was probably my favorite, just because I was like, you know, fucking jamming along to it too, you know.
What score do you think audiences gave it?
Out of
out of 10. IMDb is out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is a percentage.
Okay. So out of 10 audiences.
Yeah, they're both very similar to each other, so you can just give one guess.
Okay. Like a 4.5.
The audiences out of 10?
Oh no. Okay. I was thinking out of 5 for some reason. So in that case, maybe like a 9 or 8.
Rotten Tomatoes, it gave it 72%, and IMDb gave it 7.5%. Not 7.5%, 7.5.
Yeah, lower than I thought.
What score do you think critics gave it?
Ooh, probably okay. So,
This is on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah, maybe like a 50%.
50%?
Yeah.
This is one of the only movies on the site to have 100% fresh rating.
Oh shit.
Yes.
I'm only thinking 50% because I know critics are fucking brutal
Yeah.
on like literally everything.
Well, famous film critic Roger Ebert lists this as one of his favorite movies. Even, like, everyone loves this movie.
Yeah.
So in the 2 movies we've watched for the podcast, where does this rank?
Fucking definitely number 1, dude. This fucking movie was goddamn everywhere. And I could not just... I didn't have enough.
Yeah.
I want more. I want more batshit fucking crazy Pinocchio adventures, because honestly, it was a fucking roller coaster of emotions. I was happy, then I was shook, then I was sad, and I was happy again. So it's like, this movie was fucking everywhere, and I just...
I saw it, but I didn't really go into it. In the 80s, they created kind of a sequel for it. The only real thing of note I took away from it was that James Earl Jones was one of the voices in it.
Oh, what was he?
I don't know. All right. So, what is your Disney lesson takeaway from this movie?
Be a good fucking person, dude. I'm sure gonna turn into a fucking donkey. You're gonna become a jackass. Not metaphorically. Literally. Like...
Okay, it was called Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night.
What the fuck?
It was a thinly veiled sequel to the original Disney one. Cost $10 million to make, but only made $3.2 in the box office.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Is this the Disney movie?
Yes,
still?
it's a Disney movie, so we're gonna be watching it eventually, but not until we get to like the 80s.
I'm still looking forward to it. It's 40 years we gotta get there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm still looking forward to it.
James Earl Jones was the Emperor of the Night.
Fuck yeah, he was, dude. Did this come out before or after Star Wars? I'd have to imagine it came out after Star Wars.
I think it came out after. Yeah.
Yeah.
December 25th, 1987.
Yep. It definitely came out after Star Wars, because there's no way nobody knew who James Earl Jones was before Darth Vader.
It's just crazy.
There's no fucking way.
This summary is so long too. I can't wait to get to it.
We'll get to it.
I can't wait.
We'll fucking get to it.
It's opening weekend with average of $510 per theater.
That's crazy.
Any questions to ask me?
Okay, well, out of your, top Disney movies, well, what do you rank it?
Well, this...
Like, just give me a number between, like, 1 through 10, if it's up there.
Oh, it's definitely up there. It's definitely, like, a 9.5.
Okay.
It's not as good as Snow White to me. But that's because I have so much emotional investment in Snow White, Yeah. And my connection with Pinocchio is mostly the ride at Disneyland, because I've been on that so many more times than I've actually watched the movie.
Yeah. So, number rating?
Out of the movies we've watched so far?
No. Just like, obviously Snow White's number 1.
I'm going to do it out of the movies we've watched so far.
Okay.
It's number 2 after Snow White.
Well, yeah, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, number 2 and, like, number 3 could be blank, and this could be, like, number 4, and then number 5 could be blank, too. Just, like, give me a number.
I can't.
Why not?
I have to watch them all to make a fair judgment, because I'll say oh yeah, this movie's my favorite, and then I'll be like, oh wait, but what about this one? But what about this one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
You just have an unfair, biased opinion
Yeah.
on Snow White.
On Snow White, it's gonna take a lot to pull that one from the top spot for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably not gonna be pulled from the top spot till we get to like the 2000s. So.
Dang.
Yeah.
The fuck is in the 2000s? I guess we'll find out.
That's when Disney got Pixar.
Yeah. Then I guess we're just gonna have to get there when we get there.
Yeah. All right. You think we're good for this episode?
I think we're pretty good.
All right.
We'd like to say a quick thank you to the artist that did our logo, Hamil Gianzan. She does incredible art and is an incredible friend and person to be around. If you like our logo and would like to see any more of her artwork, go ahead and check her out on Twitter at Bagged Soda. That's BAGGEDSODA, all one word. Also, her Instagram is at Sleepy Girl Hours. That's SleepyGirlHours. Thank you again, Hamil. We appreciate you greatly. Also, thank you to Fontoman for providing the font we use for the movie titles on that logo. It is called Walter, and you could find it on dafont.com.
Make sure to follow our personal accounts at _LeoMC and at BradMajorsAsshole on Instagram. Our Twitters are at LeoMC420 and at Morgana Scott. For more podcast-related info, follow us on Twitter at DDisneyPodcast and our Facebook page at Discovering DISN3Y.
As always, thanks, guys.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
If you liked what you heard, go ahead and throw us a follow on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Our next episode will be Fantasia. See you next time, and remember,
be good people.